Galaxy and Amazulu Kombombela Stadium. That's your menu for your Heritage Day viewing. This the main platter, the main stage. The grass is looking as crisp as it can be. It's a green carpet laid out for these 22 stars as Sekhukhune United attacking the goals to the right of your screen. Chippa United, the travellers away from home, will be approaching the goals of Toaster Sabata to the left of your TV screen. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tikka Sauce meets Sugar. Just the way you like it. James, quick score prediction. Hashtag SSDiski.
It's still in the early seconds of the game, so surely the odds favors Sekhukhune to do well. But look, a game of football can change at any given time. It's all about the application of the tactical approach from either side.
Indeed, and speaking of tactical approach, Orlando Pirates made it 4 wins in a row as they got their tactics right. Just doing enough. You just need to score one more than your opponents. Eshal winning a 1-0 in the match played at the Toyota Stadium. Incidentally, Pirates now hosted Lesotho Leoli FC on Saturday's CAF Champions League clash. Msotrawal would have seen what happened at the Kingswood Itini Stadium coming. Like I said, downed by a former employee. Must have tasted sweet. Mangoba Mnuti's golden arrow slaying 8-time champions 1-0 courtesy of a Junior Dion 30th minute goal. Fanabes Tender's previous league win over Sundowns, by the way, for you, James, 3-2. That was on the 10th of November, 5 years ago.
Golden Arrows, even during our playing days, has been a hoodoo for Sundowns, and eventually they found their feet again at this point in time with Coach Mangoba Mniti at the helm. So it tells you a lot, but you look at Sundowns' team, there's a lot that has been happening as far as their preseason is concerned, because they just finished with the Club World Cup recently, and I don't think they had enough preseason. So it's more like a mesocycle in competition preseason.
We're still going to get what the mesocycle is. I know what a life cycle is, as the ball is recycled on the left-hand side, booted out for an early throw-in. Yeah, I asked Coach Henry Tinkler, who started the game, do they firmly believe they're in a title challenge, particularly with Sundowns dropping points earlier today? And I think, as a general feeling, they're still struggling with a Club World Cup hangover a little bit.
They do, as far as their conditions, fitness conditions are. So it's a big chance for Sekhukhune today to try and gather all maximum points, with Chiefs also dropping points. So it's afford them that opportunity. But again, it goes back to what? To the application.
Good defensive work there by the 25-year-old, making his first PSL start, Cohen Peters. Former Hungry Lions players. I did quite a long time to get a taste of Betway Premiership action in the new season. An early cross for Bradley Krobram, and then a follow-up shot. Half cleared. Not convincing at the back there for Chippa United. Early warning signs. It was Sergio Camis with the last touch. Mark van Heerden up on his feet. He's enthused.
Bradley Krobram creating all the problems. As for Mube and Camis there, the misunderstanding, miscue, lack of communication could have costed them a goal, but let's see how Makhaula is able to bring the delivery from the corner kick.
Player of the season nominee, Keletso Matala Makhanwa. Well, how about this for a preset move? Is this a Springbok inspired move, this? They are wearing green after all. Doesn't work out though. James, your former defender, what was that?
It's all about different corner routines that you try to improvise, and eventually didn't come the way they wanted it. But look, it will be interesting to see the next corner, how they're going to bunch up and eventually those routines.
Always love innovation, and that was as innovative as it comes. I think they've been watching quite a bit of Mikel Arteta in Arsenal. They're currently leading innovation in terms of set pieces. Well, detractors will say they're just a Stoke City that went to varsity. Good ball over the top, but the flag was up against a good run from the right from Boye Madingwana. Still searching for his first goal, incidentally, for Chippa United. 22 matches prior to tonight, yet to assist or score for the former Bakakabaram Pakela prodigy. Quite strange, that highly talented player, but yet to make his mark.
He started as a fullback. Now you can see it's more like a wing back, and eventually, so it means he needs to join more in the attack, and found himself in the box. Good body entries.
Here's a move to the left. Sergio Gummies handles or manhandles Ronaldo Malman, I think it was. In fact, it may have been Katlego Letlapa. Still scoreless from all those games that I reported for you. 5 7:30 kickoffs tonight, James. But I'll tell you what, this is the best watch. Look him out. It was a very interesting post they put up out on Facebook, Chippa United, to welcome him. They had a little video of staff and friends of Chippa United meeting him at the airport, and it said, "Look who's here."
Innovations.
Yeah. Of course, somebody had to ruin it. Quickly posted one and said, hopefully we won't say, "Look who was here." Wow, okay. Chipped over the top. Stanley Lombardi back in between the sticks for Chippa United. Sustained an injury against Richards Bay. Played 35 minutes. Pas was back in between the sticks for that 3-0 defeat against Pirates. He was not in the squad against Polokwane City. Here come the Chile boys, harboring hopes of something anew. They need to get going if they are to survive the proverbial chop or the relegation promotion battle. That's a battle, I can tell you. Speaking of battles.
Yeah, you look at how deep Marman is and trying to track Kongobe. This is more of an offensive player now doing defensive duties. Going to be interesting to see how they track. You look at the dimension of the pitch. It means every time the runner makes that run, it means there needs to be someone that is tracking them, and eventually that's where we'll see the organization properly.
It's Ayabulela Kongobe and Malebogo Modise. That's goalkeeper Sabata. Punches perfectly and precisely. Issa Kamis on Marman. Very keen to see how Chippa United kind of go about handling the opening 15 to 20 minutes of the game. Because like we said, they do tend to score early, but they also concede immediately almost thereafter. It'll be something I'm sure Luki Ma would have been working on. Player taken out right in front of referee Pilangenkosi Kumalo. Yeah, not happy there.
Difficult ball to deal with, but look at his first touch, close control, and eventually juggling it between Siabi. He knew exactly what he was doing. Unfortunately, conceding a foul in a more promising area for Mngube and Mahalwa. I don't think Coach Luke Emile is happy with how they considered such free kicks.
Speaking just after the international break, after a 3-0 defeat, saying he wanted to work on the team's performance during the international break. Let's see if the break gave them what they needed. Nice attire there, by the way.
Happy Heritage Day, Temba. That's Jonas Malachi, the CEO, and Mr. Madisha, the general manager of Sekhukhune.
His brother sitting to the right-hand side of him.
Mr. Simon
yes, sir.
Malachi from Sekhukhune, the chairman. They've done extremely well in putting Sekhukhune. It's been 5 years now, and look where they are today. So, but we'll get back to that. As Marman, also another one against, can he do injustice to his former team? It's a good free kick taker.
It's a good time to do some damage against those that they used to pay your salary and give them a special finger. All right, in between, perfect place to plant it to the left or the right. It's quite central, and here's Marman. Well, goes wide. He has to wait.
Yeah. It was a good take from Marman. You could see even the supporters there. They were waiting anxiously to see if the ball's going to dip earlier. But it had the right power and the curl.
putting quarter of an hour to get a goal. I can tell you, Chippa United's goal via Ayabulela Kongobe just after the 4th minute was the fastest goal for Chippa United in the PSL this season, but more consequentially, it was the first goal on the road away from home.
Speaking about Kongobe, just remind me of Thanda Zulu Royal, who he was a centre-back with Zita Macheke, and now playing as an offensive player. It shows how he has grown as a player. That positional flexibility affords him to work with different coaches.
He was part of the Ajax setup as well back in 2014. Moved to SuperSport United, looking for greener pastures and more game time. And like he said, he's done well to progress his career. Ball on the right-hand side. Sergio Camis comes in to join, but is dismayed at the outcome. He's going to have his hands full, that man, Sergio Camis, on the left-hand side.
Yes, on the white shirt, that's Mr. Simon Malachi, the chairman of Sekhukhune. Speak about a visionary. He is, because you look at the 5 years that Sekhukhune stayed. 2, they finished 3rd in the league and even competing in the continental football after gaining promotion from Chippa. So it could tell that they are in the right trajectory. So it's up to them this season to see how far they can go as far as challenging the league.
Here's an interesting ball for Sean Makhaila. Good defending in the end by Fasika Edumba. I think the wings are going to be so crucial. That's where the danger is for Babinanoko, the likes of Makalo and Ronaldo Marman. Plenty of pace and skills as well. They look to engage Justice Figueiredo. Can't figure it out for now. I'm trying to figure out the fact that you're playing him as a striker. I don't think that position suits him. Having seen quite a bit of the Eswatini international, I think he's best suited to play from the wings where he can cut in. But tonight, he gets the nod as the lead striker. 4 appearances and 1 goal for him. It was against Orbit College in a 2-1 loss.
A clever play of note. This was the international. He's more like a winger, like you said. But more importantly, is the type of players that he plays with. He has maximum pace that he can trouble fullbacks. So it's all about how you utilize him. But as for a striker being an out and out, it becomes difficult for him if he plays against tall defenders.
No Somaila Ntsundwana from the start. 28-year-old on the bench for now. Former Richards Bay teammate of Justice Figueiredo. In fact, Ntsundwana has only played 76 minutes in the Betway Premiership season. Perhaps just looking to get him to full fitness and match sharpness for Somaila Ntsundwana. As they look to revamp their attack. And Chile boys introducing the likes of Justice Figueiredo. Some may say this is Richards Bay's B team. With the amount of business done between the two clubs. And a transfer window. Here's Marman. Outside of him, there's Sean Makhaila. But they get no traction. Good footwork as well. Fasika gets himself in a bit of trouble. Good skip. Makalo with a no-look pass. But I'll tell you what, Boy Madingwana was watching. Had to intercept that.
Slick movement from the Sekhukhune offensive play. You could see that positional interchange is going to create more problems for Chippa if they don't have a good defensive organization. Because you have players playing between the lines. You have players playing on the wide areas like Makhaile. Look how far Makhaile and Violi Klapa have stretched the Chippa defense, overloading their last line of defense.
Makhawa, good block by Camis. Had one thing in mind, and that's to get behind that Chippa United defense. And it's been a frail defense at that. James Mayinga. They have the worst defensive record of any of the 16 teams. 13 conceded in 7 games. Here's perspective. 2-1 against Polokwane City, 1-2-1 against Orbit, but 3 losses prior to that. 3-0 against the Pirates, 1-0 against Richards Bay, and 4-1 against Chippa.
You understand it's a game of numbers for them. You look at how the pitch occupation is. you count about 5 players within the center. And what does it mean at the back? They become lean. It means they've got 4. And then now look at how Sekhukhune operates. You have players playing on the width, you have players playing on the inverted, and you have a striker and also players that look at how far Marmani is, but he's an offensive player. So look how they draw each other. Now they defend with 6 when they have possession. Who breaks out quickly? They're still pinned in their own half.
Loose pass by Sipesihle Mkhize. I mean, look at the passes complete already. Only 33 times that the players in red have touched the ball. Van Heerden, Masehe and Tinkler, the think tank. Watch on.
Look at Masehe, you look at Coach Eric Tinkler, both played as defensive midfielders, with Van Heerden playing more of a wingback.
Wingback, yeah.
And then you'll understand how Sekhukhune have been shaped up as far as their tactical approach. It's wealth of attacking and defense being complemented.
Carlos Masehe as well, the true definition of a versatile player. Could play midfield, probably fullback and striker all in one game.
It's the individual battles that Munari will always have to deal with, because every time Mohaila goes up in an advanced position, he needs to cover for him. Speaking about Masehe, he started as a striker, became a midfielder, and eventually the workhorse in the midfield.
Real icon at Free State Stars. I remember him many games bloodied with a bandage over his face, but still playing, I'll tell you that. Now turned into a very top coach. It's working right now for Babina Noko. Goodman Musele takes up an interesting position. Sergio Kamis is upended by Gelato Makhalwa and Co. On that left hand or right hand side, left for the home side.
Clever play from Letlapa. He knew that Kamis is going to sell him a dime and eventually put him. So look how far Kamis has approached, but it becomes a 3 versus 3, 1v1. So those numerical superiority from Sekhukhune always give them an edge when they are defending and also in attack.
Letlapa misses out. Picked up by Semisiabi. In a pocket of space. Good looking run as well for Kerwin Peters. Ball never arrives. Lands of Toaster and Sabata. 39 games tonight for him. Sekhukhune United. 30 goals conceded as well during that time. 31-year-old board out of Chingola, James. That's in Zambia, by the way.
In his second return to Sekhukhune, he has done extremely well. Even in his first maiden season, he has been one of the goalkeeper of the season contenders with so many clean sheets for that matter. I think he went about 10.
As well, clears it. With Sabata, the main subject of our conversation, not being called into action. You're right, he did sign for Sekhukhune United from Zesco. And then went back to Sekhukhune United now for a second time. Pick it up now from the throw-in. Chippa hurl it. And it's placed out by Bright Ndlovu, who started the last 3 games as well and played 90 minutes against City, Arrows and Chiefs, the 25-year-old. And shot is Ayabulela Kwangobe to take the corner. A mean defense, Sekhukhune United. One of the best in the division. They've only conceded twice in 7 games. And it remains exactly that. 19 minutes of play here at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. By the way, James, when you get the pitch is in immaculate condition, I must say.
Well, look after. I mean, it's only for carpet football that can afford the spectators a beautiful scenario here. Even the players, I think they enjoy playing in this type of pitch.
I think the pitch is an illustration as to how well Sekhukhune United has run.
And also the groundsman has done extremely well in keeping it so immaculate, because it's not easy to I mean, look at how it's been manicured. Look at how it's been cut. With its definition, it actually makes the life of a coach is easier as far as the lines of operations for the players.
So, James, you could have a whole buffet meal on that pitch. Pitch perfect. Yes, Makhala, who's swapped wings, looks for a penetrative pass to find the onrushing Ronaldo Marman. We have not seen Bradley Grobler in 20 minutes of play. 37-year-old being kept quiet, but one thing about Grobler, just because he's quiet doesn't mean he's not dangerous. Us Chiefs and co.
Sometimes he drifts away from the play. You forget about him. You only hear the back of the net rattling, and eventually you'll understand that that's Grobler for you.
Grobler, by the way, found the back of the net for Sekhukhune United in the 94th minute in the game against the Arrows. Scored his 5th goal, pushing him to top of the Golden Boot race. That's the 9th season, by the way, in which he's managed to score at least 5 goals in the South African top flight. It's his 19th season in South Africa's top division.
You're speaking about a player that had his fair share of injuries but managed to overcome that. What about that 10 against Kaizer Chiefs? That goal, it just reminded us who Bradley Grobler is. That 10 doesn't come by a whisker.
Finished Chiefs and then finished off with a lovely interview. Yeah, they told me I was old 2 years ago. All right, 103 goals and counting for the evergreen Bradley Grobler. 124 goals overall. Catching practice for Stanley Nwabali. Despite having spoken so glowingly about Bradley Grobler, he's yet to test Stanley Nwabali. Anyone in a green shirt is yet to test the Nigerian international thus far. Is that going to change? Grobler moves from striker to left winger, then delivers a ball that he would have wanted to get an end off, but doesn't give Ronaldo Marman any opportunity, but gives him scathing look to say, why were you not in that position?
You could see it's more like a tactical approach. When Grobler draws defenders, centre-backs away from their initial position, it affords Marman and Vusmusi Mncube to advance into more of a central striker's place. So that quickness and sharpness for them to get there will make it easier for Sekhukhune to find goal-scoring opportunities.
Kongobe is down. Well, he's up. Kapoko. Let's see you, sir. Is that a dress, James?
It's more like a pinifa.
Oh, okay, it's a dress. Thank you, James. We move. Gotta love South African football fans. Nukuma having a thorough conversation with Justice Figueiredo. I guess they're trying to figure it out.
It's more like running the channels for the team.
Nukuma, the Belgian, is on his CV. Will see him the 2018 Nedbank Cup winners medal as well. Coach Bulugwane City 22 times during his tenure there, won 6 times. And he was head coach. Had a longish stint at Free State Stars as well. Over 2 periods, 2017 to 18, 2018 to 19. Also, very short stint at Black Leopards. Only coached him for 9 games, and this his 4th managerial outing for Chippa United. His 87th overall in South African football. Look him out with 27 wins during those previous 86 games. And think he can change the fortunes of Chippa?
Maybe, maybe not. It's always difficult.
Politically correct as usual.
For a coach to inherit a team that hasn't done pre-season with.
Yeah.
So it's always about players' dynamics, trying to find combinations, try to implement your methodology. But with the help of Sly Mosala on their bench, whom they work together at Polokwane City, chances are they might get it right, but at the later stage.
United with his former assistant and Sly Mosala. I asked him before the game, 7 games in, coach, only 1 win. What have you made of your side's performance, a lot thereof? He looked me dead in the eye and he said, I wasn't there.
Exactly. In fact, he was saying to you, I didn't do the preseason.
I didn't do the preseason. It's not my fault.
Yeah. So just inherited the team halfway and are just trying to change the omens of the team.
Chippa winless in the last 9 away league matches, James. Their last victory on the road was a 2-0 triumph in the month of love against Cape Town Spurs.
Relegated Cape Town Spurs.
Exactly. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, indeed. But as for Coach Eric Tinkler, he'll be happy with what they have done. So as for Coach Emile, it's more like implementing a tactical discipline approach as far as defensive organization is concerned. And now you need to look at the individual tactics, the group tactics, and the team tactics for that matter.
25 minutes on the clock. It's a very closely monitored and very closely competed tactical chessboard. It's 0-0. I haven't had too many chances to report for you. Cohen Peters on his Betway Premiership debut, former Hungry Lions man. Also was one that was honed in the Chippa reserves before moving to All-Stars. Prior to getting some few minutes in the Chippa first team about 5 years ago. His first stint. Quick score update as well from games elsewhere. The run is made, good one, and there by Vusumuzi Ngube. The ball will end up in and around the corner flag. Cleared by Sien Ndlovu. Thank you, Sien. TX Galaxy have taken the lead against Amazulu 3 minutes before half an hour there. They're in real good form. Adnan Begonovic's side. Saluleko Mahlambi at it again. Them and Puso Ditejane. Forms of their lives. Teenagers. No goals to report elsewhere. Stellenbosch taking on Durban City. Richards Bay at Hlatuze Stadium against Dikwena Chame Timakesi. Orbit College out in Rustenburg against Polokwane City. Chiefs drew 1-1 earlier. Sundowns losing 1-0 at Segwine against Golden Arrows. Here's Siabi to Goodman Musele. Main a run to the right-hand side. Sergio Kami's spot was ignored. They bide their time. Circulating it in midfield, but he thinks the team in red are going nowhere slowly. They quicken the pace, only to be too quick in the run for Cohen Peters.
I think we've seen this struggle before from many teams whereby they can't hold possession more in the final stage. You look at how they rotate the ball and eventually Kongobe trying to play it over the top. And unfortunately, Peters was caught for offside. So that patience of changing the point of attack without any rush going forward will help them more importantly. But it's all about passing options. It's all about the supporting players.
That was a tight offside, by the way,
Yeah,
James.
It was. We spoke about how the grass has been cut. It makes it easier also for the assistant referee to time the offsides and everything.
Looks to get into the game and knit things together. Hasn't happened as yet. Figueiredo with a deft touch makes the run to the right is where the pass is, but Ayabulela Kongobe can't release the winger and Boy Madingwana. Always up to something, Stanley Mabai. People don't realize how big he is in real life, by the way, James. I happened to walk past him out in KZN when they were playing Richards Bay. I kept looking up and up and up and never stopped.
It's
How
such
big
a
is this
big
man?
unit.
It's a big unit. Good run, Sergio Kamis. Where's the support? It's slow to come. Just as Figueiredo eventually gets there, and as a result, Kamis has to resist the urge of crossing. They finally do so. 25-year-old winger Peters takes a delicate touch. First time cross leads to nothing but a throw-in.
Now you understand why Chippa is not scoring more goals. Because every time when they have an outlet, it becomes a game of numbers. Kemis was there, but who was there as a passing option that gets into the final third? Neither.
Figueiredo and Ndlovu in the box. Perhaps set pieces may be an important facilitator. Ndlovu. No, it's Heritage Day, sir, not Christmas.
Young man from Bushbuck Ridge.
Yeah, not known for his goal scoring, but you know, he had ambitions of cracking the code there.
Interesting to see 3 boys from Bushbuck Ridge in Vuyole Tlapa, Bright Ndlovu and also Sien Ndlovu.
Let's not forget James Maying as well.
Why not? And McDonald Makubedu,
Yes,
the big 5 from Bushbuck Ridge, the pride. As we celebrate the Heritage Day, it's all about cultural diversity.
Just there's something in the water in Bushbuck Ridge. By the way, as we just edge past half an hour, here's a statistical piece of information that is, I think, quite important if you're a Chippa United fan. 6. What is the significance of that? That's 6 first-half goals in 7 games that they've conceded. Chippa United, only Stellenbosch have let in more in the PSL. So watch out for the 45th minute. They do tend to concede in the first half of games. And they've done well, 31 minutes against league leaders, Sekhukhune United. Makhano's attempt sees him with hands on head.
I think they're spending more energy in trying to make sure that their defensive organization is compact. And eventually that takes a lot, because if you look at the dimension of this international pitch in New Peter Mkaba Stadium, it will take a lot as far as conditioning from these players.
Conceded a goal in each of their last 7 away games. So history will tell you that's on the cards. Just as Figueiredo takes a decent touch, while Sean Mukhaila was close enough to him. And one thing I must give them due credit, they've controlled and matched Sekhukhune United in midfield. Goodman Masele, case in point. Peters, surrounded by Makhaila and Marman. Sweet work that. That's a touch of Shiga. Peters changes position to get into midfield. Ill-advised. Makhala with a no-look pass. That's also ill-advised. I don't think we've seen enough combination of Marman, Grobler and Makhala. And if you've missed it, perhaps you've just returned back from work like us, or you are out and about. That's the scores as they were and are currently. Mentioned Mahlambi with the only goal of the live 5 games tonight. He's in the race for Golden Boot as well, alongside Grobler. Seleleko Mahlambi. One for you. Scored the 7th fastest goal in PSL history. 36 minutes.
The game model for youngsters has changed eventually.
Oh yes, Grobler finally engages the creative hub of Sekhukhune United, and most importantly, the last line of defense of United, peeled away from his man, James Mayinga.
Clever pass from Tabang Manar. Unfortunately for Grobler, couldn't find his adjustment earlier. Had he found it, you could see the intentions that were to head the ball where it was coming from.
That's what they would want to avoid. Falling asleep and then forgetting that Grobler is around.
Always on the shoulder of a defender.
The ever-present danger. Yes, Nkize. Looks for Makhanwa on the back post. Gamis was flat-footed. Makhanwa is fleet-footed. Beats Gamis, but Gamis pushes him out the way. Had to do it last minute. Makhanwa's flawed from that push. Goodman Masela with the interception. Maybe an injury concern for the Mokopane-born creator. He's on the floor. Nobody checks up on him. The ball is way up the other side. It was innocuous. Gamis against Makhanwa in a strawweight bout. Not quite sure what happened there, James.
Yeah, so much aggravation from Kamis, and eventually it just went without being noticed from the referee, because I didn't notice that. Could have that push. It was enough to warrant a penalty at that point in time.
This game by The numbers last season was exceptional. Matala Makhalwa, 32 appearances, 6 goals and 11 assists. Interestingly, all 11 were in the league. And for Kiletso Makhalwa, the definition of dynamite comes out in small packages.
And he has matured with time. Remember, while he was still at Sundowns with Coach Pito, using him more as an impact player from off the bench, and eventually starting now the games for Sekhukhune has been very influential from last season, being a contender of player of the season. So it has given him an extra boost, and playing with players like Taban Munare, who does the donkey work in the midfield, and Mkhize, it allows him to attack with so much freedom.
7 appearances tonight. This is 8th. He's got 4 assists already. While on his way, that's influence that Kiletso Makhalwa has on the side. 18 tackles made thus far in 35 minutes of play. 10 before we hear referee Pilan Nkosi Khumalo's whistle. Justice Figueiredo and Bradley Grobler yet to really get into the game. The 2 strikers on opposing ends. Samata releases quickly. Sien Ndlovu rises handsomely high against Ngube. See as well, Tostan Samata has got the nod ahead of Ronaldo Lina. Where's the pass coming from? Doesn't arrive from Malebogo Modise. Malebogo Nix. Lucky Mal cannot believe it. Neither can he, and he was the culprit.
Decision making for Malebogo. They could have done better. The Sekhukhune defense just opened like a Red Sea, and eventually, had he head up, look up, the goals were just in front of him. But because he's a wing back, he always think about assist, not scoring.
Not like you, James. You scored a few bangers back in your day. I think they could find some joy on the left wing. Chippa United manages to crack a smile, look him up with the 4th official. In Romeo Matibiri. Justice Figueiredo, 66 appearances prior to tonight. He's not your quintessential out-and-out goal-getter, goal finisher. I don't think he's at that level like a Bradley Grobler. 66 games prior to tonight, 6 goals. James Mayenga during his tenure as a PSL attacker. That's not very good numbers.
It's more of a winger and a creator of not like Makhalwa, but now with the teams that he has played for, because of there's a lack of goals and there's a lot of strikers, they end up playing him as a top man, which doesn't suit this game style. So if using more as a winger and joining in attack, then you can get the best of the Sekhukhune International.
Probably have the same problem as well in Somela Tsundwana. Good looking run here. Taken down. Referee Khumalo says no con artist work on Heritage Day, please. Fasika.
That nudge.
I've seen 2 pushes in that Chippa United box.
They must have a controlled aggression, more especially in that big box. Trust me, the 3rd one.
3 gonna be a lucky charm. They were saying, James, then they have the same problem, Figueiredo as well as Tsundwana. Both they would like to play them centrally, but it does not suit them. They play best from the wings.
And look where he is now, defending as a top man.
That's the striker, by the way.
That's the striker, so there's a problem. If you see your striker defending as deep as where Figueiredo was, because the energy he's using to defend is supposed to be the energy that he's using to attack.
Here's Brighton Cove, one of the bright lights of the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. Mkhize, hassled by the hard-working Ayabulela Kongqobe. Cardoso. Makhalwa surrounded, but if anybody can find a way through, it's Kiletso Makhalwa, jersey number 7. Stanley Nabali is too good to drop those kind of balls. Figueiredo Still trying to figure it out, this Figueiredo. Does connect with Kerwin Peters this time around. Looks for the first time pass, but perhaps leaving the 27-year-old Eswatini international too much to do there. Exactly. I know he's fast, but he's not that fast.
The energy that he spent defending earlier on could have been reserved now for him to try and take Brighton Love on 1-for-1. At one stage, he had 2 versus 1. So it tells you as far as the medium block from Chippa is not affording them that chance of having outlets going forward as quickly as possible.
Through the middle, Oskeleta Makhana thinks about the pass to Bradley Chrobra, but Fasika says, you took too long to think. Nips in, Marman with the attempted shot. Great block that. Peters is looking for the right pass to Boy Madingwana, but it's that final pass that is letting the Chile boys down. The chili is not spicy enough, I guess.
Speak about cognitive skills, that's what Chippa players need.
Sekhukhune United almost found the run of Vusumuzi Nube. Got the bench up, interested. They haven't got a lot of joy behind the Chippa United defense. Good pass, James.
Indeed, good pass. The first touch let Skesha down there because you could see what exactly he wanted to do. He wanted just to have a slight touch and eventually able to turn inside. But what a clever pass from Mokhaila.
To say the wingers and fullbacks are exerting a lot of energy. You see Makhala now back in his own half, having ran all the way forward. And you saw Makhala, the one that sparked the attack and followed the ball thereafter as well. It's a lot of work being done on either side of the wings.
It's the evolution of fullbacks. That understanding between him and Violet Klapper makes life easier for Sekhukhune.
Peters has a chance to cross. Does not take his chance on his debut. 41 minutes. He's lacked that final pass as the 25-year-old.
Becomes a game of numbers. It's 6 against 3 or 4 for that matter. So they're attacking with numerical inferiority. Where are they going to trouble the Sekhukhune defense? Just need an individual brilliance from Peters from there. Take him on. Try to find a corner or something else. So the offensive part from Chippa, it's failing them at this point. Look how deep they are on the halfway line. It means they're closing one the passing angle, forcing Sekhukhune not to progress, playing the ball wide, not penetrating inside. But now it's a lot of energy that they're exerting as far as defending is concerned.
Great ball over the top now. Bali just steps in. Before Makhala had any further ideas of doing damage there. Not a lot of space behind the Chippa United defense, and that's a massive throw, by the way, from the big Nigerian. Wow. Maybe he's going to be on the Olympic squad for Nigeria for javelin. Who knows? Impressive. Mashambi's 12th minute goal against Amazulu, still the only goal of Heritage Night. Great pass. Teasing Kongobe there. Nube has been busy, but it's like that bit of quality. Look where Makhaila has popped up. Tucked in. Creates the space for Marman. They're working together in collaboration. It's key ball for Babina Noko. Let's dig out a cross over the head of Bradley Grobler, but not over the head of the Chippa United fullback Mulise. Here's a chance. Figueiredo makes the run against Cardoso. There was a foot race that exactly that they would have wanted, but the ball never came. Then they get back, fall into the shape. The best defensive team in the division. Do what they do best and kill attacks before they start. James, is that offside as well?
Nope. No chance for an offside.
That's two that the official on the far side has got wrong.
He's deceived by the lines of the surface. I think he's not in line with the second two opponents, last opponents.
Sekhukhune United hoping to keep their 7th clean sheet of the season, by far the best record of any of the 16 teams. A couple of minutes at a time. And this would be a rare occurrence as well for Wabinanoko, not being able to score in the first half of games. They failed to do so for the first time against Amazulu. And they are failing to do so against Chippa United as well. I think that speaks to how Lukumala set up his side tonight.
Yes, the medium block is always difficult to move around. It needs more fluidity. Passing patterns needs to be visible as quickly as possible.
Compress the field at ball at feet. Now the home side. That's the last foray. Last couple of minutes of this half. Marman was, I think, taken out by Modise, who's aghast with many questions. Why?
Clipped.
Yeah, he clipped him there. Is this a night for a free kick? I have a sneaky suspicion, the way the half has gone, that it may come down to a set piece for the first goal of the game, or perhaps a bit of individual brilliance. Starts here, hands on hips is Marman. Is that a sign where the ball is going to go? James Mayinga points to where he thinks it's going to go, and it does go in that general direction. Allowed to bounce dangerously. Chippa living charmed life here a little bit. That was not very convincing from Justice Figure. It is now popped up at right back. He's played left back, right back, central midfield and striker. All in 46 minutes of play. You see that if he was there, he would have put pressure on the keeper, but he's back in his own half. And that between both sides at the end of the first half. Now when the sides last met, when Sekhukhune United to the home side, was back on the 25th of September of 2024, it was a 1-1 draw. Ivan Gar scored for Chippa in the 7th minute with Thabang Monare equalizing in the 49th. Well, in the reverse fixture was the 22nd of Feb with a 1-0 win on the road, with Mokete Makhaila scoring the sole goal in that match for Sekhukhune United. We'll pick it up in the second half. It's first versus bottom. But judging by the performance that we saw in the first, you could not tell the difference. Here's James Mayinga.
Indeed, and eventually Chippa started with reverting to the medium block, makes it difficult for Sekhukhune. They keep on trying to find different attacking options, but with fail. So it's all about changing now, bringing Elias Ramala, who will be playing more in the space of Marman, inverting from the right-hand side, cutting inside, trying to find combination play.
Just trying to pick up who Elias Ramala has come on for.
It's Marman.
It's Marman, by the looks of it, Ronaldo Marman, 25-year-old, at an okayish first half. James Mayinga, you agree with that, Sam?
It didn't have the impact that they were looking for as far as playing between the lines, trying to have combination play with Mngube, Mahalwa, and also Grobler. So with Ramala being a goal-getter, he likes to play in the half spaces and between the lines.
Former Keswick man, Ramala, coming on for what will be his 8th appearance of the campaign. Having played the last 3 games prior to that Golden Arrows win from start to finish, was on the bench, an unused sub. That 1-0 victory against Stender Nation. Let's see if he will bring the desired effect. Thabang Monare. Mokhaila. Centre back Brighton Drover from one defender to another, biding the time. Chippa United, like I said, no subs for them. Sammy Siabi and Goodman Musele in midfield. Boy Madingwana and Kerwin Peters on his debut, playing on either side of the wings. Kongobe and Figueiredo in the 9 and 10 position. Stanley Nobali back in the side after missing out against Polokwane City. I think it will be bitterly disappointing for fans, and I think the respective benches will be no shots on target in that first half, James Mayinga.
Not at all, more especially for Chippa. I think the emphasis was more on defensive unit and compactness compared to attacking options. They have Evanga in the bench that can come and have that impact as a sole striker. But let's see how the second half will able to pan out for them.
Working hard as Sekhukhune United attack. Here's Makhalwa! Crossbar stops him, denies him. Other than that, it was curtains for Nwabali. He would have conceded his 11th goal in 6 appearances.
Look at that touch from Elias Ramala to set Makhalwa. Unfortunately, standing Nwabali was only saved by the crossbar. I mean, he's asking himself, what more should I do? He had a nice curl, and with Nwabali beaten hands down.
In 8 or 7.5 games this season, he's yet to register a goal this season. Makhalwa having scored 6 the previous campaign and assisted 11. His assist tally though, he's racking them up 4 in 7. Still scoreless though. Oh, great approach play there. Interestingly, Khrobla peeling out to what would be the Makhalwa position. Ramala taking up the Khrobla position, and well, that almost saw the chance converted. Great interplay there.
Very, very. That's the interchange that Coach Tinkler is always looking for. Look at Ramala between the players, between the lines. That's the where Marman should be operating and eventually finding himself in more advanced positions.
By the way, Ramala playing his 28th game for Sekhukhune United since signing from Kazakhstan. Look at that. All 21 players, barring Tostan Sabata, are in the half of the away side. Putting on the squeeze. Cardoso nips in timelessly at that as well. By the way, he's nearing almost 300 run-outs in the PSL. 36-year-old Daniel Cardoso, 299 to 9. James Moyinga.
Such a milestone.
Former Free State Stars man. Was on their books, what, 10 years ago now? Also, is well known for his defensive work out at Naturena, all over the top. Speaking of defensive work, Sergei Kamis has been pretty solid. I think he's kept Keleto Makhalwa quite quiet. And you've seen Makhalwa having to interchange and find space in other positions. Khrobla comes short, the ball goes long. Nobody will take his time. TUT.
Also, we need to credit CN and Ndlovu for making sure that he keeps check on Bradley Khrobla, trying to shepherd him wherever he goes, not giving him any time and space on the ball. So he has done extremely well, this young defender.
Ooh, almost snipped in there. Good work by CN Ndlovu. As you speak of him, James Moyinga. That was dangerous. Otherwise, Makhalwa was gone. Semi Siabi. They rotate through fullback Malebo Khomodise. By the way, beautiful Heritage Day story, like father, like son. You know where I'm going? Mayo.
Scoring on debut.
Yes, sir.
Only to be spoiled at a later stage by Marumo Gallant, but what an introduction for the young man.
Chiefs drawing with Marumo Gallant earlier today. Yes, Makhalwa, or rather, by the looks of it, that was Ramala. Of course, before playing continental football this past weekend, Chiefs suffered their first defeat of the 25-26 season after succumbing to a 3-1 loss against log leaders Sekhukhune United. What did you make of the game, James? Sekhukhune and Chiefs.
Sure.
Enough said. Here's Mkhize. I think Munari and Mkhize have really dovetailed quite nicely, but they lacked a bit of creativity. That final pass in midfield. Both of them, I think, quite industrious players, Mkhize and Munari, quite similar.
they bring the cushion in front of the defense, and also their task is more on winning the second balls, and that has afforded the likes of Ramala the chance to play between the lines.
Sprint race is on. Cardoso, how are your hamstrings? Figueiredo, perfectly fine. He has a good-looking pass on the follow-up. Madingwana! A touch of class about that goal as he touched it past the onrushing Tostan Sabata. Who would have bet Chippa United taking the lead against the log leaders? Happy Heritage Day.
Indeed, it's a Heritage Day where you have to... it's one of those moments that Chippa have been looking for. They managed to perfect it. We spoke about their offensive play, and eventually credit must be given to Figueiredo for making sure that look at how many players that he was able to draw out of position and finding Madingwana with so much ease to get the opener for the Chile boys. What a good counter-attack from Chippa. The first touch from Madingwana to evade Sabata's challenge. It was enough to set up this youngster to get his first goal of the professional football.
Sensational subtlety at its best from Boy Madingwana with a manly finish. By the way, it's taken him 23 official games for Chippa United to get going. And this may be one of the most important of his young career. Madingwana is first, Chippa's first. Sekhukhune United breached for only the third time in 7.5 games. James Mayinga, beautiful vision by Justice Figueiredo, peeled to the left, hurt them centrally, and Boy Madingwana has 2 touches to set up the goal. Not quite scrumptious.
We spoke about how Figueiredo is very key in playing from the wide areas, and
his first assist, by the way, this season.
It came evidently when he took out Cardoso out of his position. You could see that the cover defense was not there.
Yes, Figueiredo yet again. Taken out this time around. As I'm sure now score on the Sekhukhune Chippa game will change. Not seen too many changes in the other games. TX Galaxy have made it 2 now. That's a big change for the Rockets. Man, they're firing on all cylinders currently. Adnan Begunovic's side. We're currently in 8th position and on a 4-game unbeaten run. James Mayinga beat Chippa 4-1. Did away with Suwelele 2-0 to compound their miseries as Lehloonolo, Siema's run out of Lehloonolo. 3-1 against Orbit College, 1-1 against Richards Bay, and now 2-1, or 2-0 rather, against Amazulu. Impressive there from Adnan Begunovic, and 3 goals over the course 5 games, and 2 of those coming from Galaxy and Amazulu. 1 Chippa United against Sekhukhune.
It's the energy that takes Galaxy play with, more especially with more young stars. There's so much energy and passion going forward, and also the quest to try and achieve more. It becomes easier for Coach Begunovic, but it's the game model that has changed very much since post-Sedovic's departure.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in context, we'll get to that. Flag is up. Cardoso playing a dangerous game, but James Mayinga is waving the finger saying he does not think there was offside against Ayabulelo Kongobe. Here's a look. Just maybe offside, James. Just maybe off.
Marginal.
Marginal.
But as for Cardoso as a last man to let such kind of a pass, look at how they're able to split them between Bright and Clove, and they need to fix that combination, because that's where now the likes of Kongobe and Figueiredo might find joy.
Clearly playing a higher defensive line in the second half. Hence, at one point we found 21 players in one half. Back to Galaxy. You mentioned the young, invigorated squad. Youthful exuberance at its epitome. Puso Ditejan, 21 years young. Seluleko Mathambi just turned 21 last month. Just to give you an indication of the revamp that's going out in Mpumalanga. Here's Makalwa. He needs to pick up the performance and output 28-year-old creator. Gayla makes a decent run. Mawali slightly spills it. Bradley Grobler, though, was not far away. That was good play there. As tight as a phone booth, but they found space behind the Chippa United defense. Justice Figueiredo. Beautiful work. Cardoso did not know what hit him there. This game has come alive, James Mayinga.
More especially in the second half. We spoke about the offensive play from Chippa and the influence of Figueiredo, drawing Cardoso out of position. Why can't he pass him on than tracking him all the way to the halfway line?
Goodman Musele nips in. Stays on his 95, but perhaps did too many extras. Right in the face of referee Kumalo as he towers over him and then realizes his mistake. Is
Yeah, the kicking from Musele from behind, and eventually Ngube did extremely well in retaining that ball, but illegally so.
I think the man from Stilfontein did well to keep still. When he realized this mistake, I'm talking myself into a card here. Let me not get in the referee's face like that.
It was more penalized for the kicking than trying to retrieve the ball.
Formerly with Pirates, Goodman Musele, product of the Baragabaran Patela youth setup as well. A highly experienced and well-traveled figure. Oh, James, that is closer to Venda than anything. Chippa to introduce Ivanga. Who's he coming on for?
It's Ngcobe.
Seems to be struggling with his hand.
In fact, those hamstrings that he had in the first half, it was more the one that might, because he was more of your link player where he was covering more distance.
All right, I do have a sneaky suspicion. Big striker Iva Nga will play through the middle, which will then release Justice Figueiredo to his preferred position of wing. What does he bring onto the pitch, James Mayinga?
Hold-up play will be very key now for Chippa, because as they look to rest their defense and eventually trying to find players joining as quickly as possible. So as for Cardoso and company, they need to guard against conceding fouls in more their defensive side.
Indeed, the big Cameroonian is now up against Bradley Grobler as the experienced strikers looking to strike. A very key game as we go past the hour. There's that first goal for Boy Madingwane in Chippa United colours, an assist by Justice Figueiredo. Well worked goal, beautiful touches in the build up to that. As Figueiredo had a big part, big hand in that goal. Oh yes, Grobler! That would have been out of this world, that. Creative from the evergreen, ever alert, ever ready Grobler. Oh,
wow.
James Mayinga.
The evergreen improvising very well. Imagine had he touched the back of the net, could have been one of such of a beautiful goal.
That could have been one of his best, and he scored a lot of them, over a century of goals.
Maybe a Kung Fu kick goal.
Yes, sir, Kung Fu Panda football. Courtesy of Bradley Grobler. He scored in every competition he's played in this campaign. It's 10 appearances in all comps, 7 goals, 2 assists as well. Scored in the MTN 8. Competition has not been lethal in his Bradley Grobler. He spent a bit of time out in Turkey, as it's now known, playing for Kusepte 29 appearances for him during that time, 6 goals. So between a 3 years period, 2011 to 2013, before returning back home. And also for the likes of Platinum Stars once upon a time. Figueiredo. You know, Ivan Gar makes the run to take away the defender, but Figueiredo doesn't get it right this time around. Bounces off the man, doesn't move it. And then a great, strong statement tackle by Sien in Ndlovu. Yes, Sien.
Do you know his nickname?
Indeed.
Black Card.
All right.
Sien Black Card in Ndlovu. A man from Velverdien. Strong and imposing centre-back.
James Mayer, I guess the black card was denying the striker there. That's when you know the transaction has bounced. We move.
Insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds, there we go. We send the 10 digits. They didn't arrive as yet. But the most important digits to the top left of your screen as bottom of the league. 16th place, Chippa United against the odds with the lead. Yes, Sekhukhune United, who potentially may suffer their first defeat of the campaign, James Mayinga. It's not been a good night for the big three.
Not at all.
There's still plenty of time. We've got Makhanlo Grobler, Nube, Ramala out on the pitch. Can do damage. The guy is strong.
I'm just worried about Cardoso every time thrown out of position most of the time by Evan Guy. It was Figueiredo now. So it means they end up having Brighton Ndlovu alone as a centre-back, and that can cause a discomfort for Sekhukune's defence.
Run made, and it's a good one. Good chest work. Makhanlo teases the ball in, but Ndlovu denies yet another box entry. Uncompromising. Looks like a couple of subs are to make their way off the bench. Let's see who's who. Siko Sonkelanga comes on for Katlego Letlapa. Tsepo Mokoena also comes in. Munare Makhanlo and Letlapa are the three that defect. Langa Mokoena and Miguel Tim are the trident. It looks to be tried and tested in this game. Triple sub. Chief creator Makhanlo taking off. As Eric Tinkler really has a go at it. Not leaving anything to chance. Don't often see a triple sub just past the Yaba.
Yeah, it's the offensive play that they need to try and improve and make sure that there's so much ball rotation, because Mkhize and Mnari, yes, they were rotating, but not as effective as it is. As for Ngube, did extremely well in drawing a foul from the likes of Figueiredo. So they'll be pushing enough numbers, but it's the rest defense that will be very key with the introduction of Evan Gar for Sekhukhune.
All right, now with Makhanlo off the pitch, who's on set-piece duty. And a vantage point, which is very high up, by the way. I think it looks as if it may be...
Looks like Mkhize.
Mkhize, yeah?
There's Mkhize and Ramala also.
4 players in green at the back post. It's Fasika in combination with Nwabali, who... See how that attack, Bradley Grobler was not pleased with the ball, ended up there. Gesticulating, he needed it further forward, not behind him. And Tsundwana watches on. Is he going to get some minutes tonight? He's only played 71 in total this season. Another well-born attacker. First touch for defensive mid Miguel Tim. Stylish looking pass to Bradley Grobler. Picking up the pieces as Mokoena. Tim moves further forward and looks to move Sekhukhune United further up the pitch. Have not been able to get Bradley Grobler in the game. Enough touches in the box consistently, James.
It looks like the black card has stick to him like a glue.
Good work by Ndlovu and Idumba. Out of that Chippa United defense. Teases a ball behind the defense, and Langa and boy Madingwana get to know each other a bit better. This is how, shoulder to shoulder.
Yes.
Oh, he flew off.
Speak about using your body, putting your body between the ball and the line, and unfortunately for Langa, was brushed in like more like a wind.
Yeah, Sia Kulisi would have been proud of that. He's still out in this. What did you call it again?
Ipinifa.
Okay, the dress. What shot that? First time on 10 by Cohen Peters. What a story that will be on his debut. Former Chippa reserve and Hungry Lions man. Sekhukhune have scored 12 goals this season. One of the best attacks. So how long can Chippa hold out for against one of the worst defenses? Only Sundowns have scored more goals than Tinkler's side. Don't play too many draws as well. Only one. It was against Amazulu. Yes, Grobler attacking. Nobali will pick up the pieces. They could be bitterly disappointed as well that they conceded that, man, given the fact, statistically, the best defense, like I said, with 5 clean sheets, the joint most, alongside Makosi and 8-time champion Sundowns. And Keys in midfield. They need a bit more guile in the midfield area, methinks, with Brighton Ndlovu. No, they've seen a lot of the ball, but to no serious consequence. Goodman Musele. It wasn't Goodman Musele, but Semi Siabi. Perplexed by that decision by referee Kumalo.
The problem comes when the Sekhukhune players play between the lines, and he was late, Siabe, for that tackle. He should just guide, not putting aggression. I think there's more aggression from the Chippa players, and they keep on conceding free kicks on a promising situation for Sekhukhune, whom can kick their heels for.
By the way, James, 6 of their 12 goals have come in the second half of matches. It's 20 minutes to play.
Yes, it's all about concentration for Chippa.
Mube, perhaps the outlet, not to be. He decided Elis Ramala should have taken it. In hindsight, he should have left it for the right footer. Anyway, will do for Justice Figueiredo. Again, Sekhukhune United high up the pitch. Tim, a lot of space, looks for the pass. And matches the run of his teammate. Now with Langa. Chippa will not be penetrated. It will not be breached as of yet. Nga. Still Nga. Tennis dropped into interesting positions. Very deep. Almost like a deep line playmaker. Just coming on. Grobler pinned to Sergio Camis. Look for the flick on to the white man Langa. And it's rinse repeat. You have the ball, we defend. We put it out, back to sender, then the run. Yes, Grobler. Tim with numbers to his right. He does find Ramala. Figueiredo, there's no part of the Peter Mukaba pitch is not touched, James Mayinga, tonight.
Yeah, it will be more of a frustration for Sekhukhune players as they try to penetrate that last line of defense for Chippa.
Samkele Sihlali comes on for Sean Mohaila.
He has been quiet in the second half, Mohaila, so I'm not surprised by adding another striker to try and overload the last line of defense for Chippa.
Jeez, he's not messing around, is Eric Tinkler's made 4 subs.
It's all about trying to find that equalizer, and they know now to move that medium block is going to take a lot from his players.
Can Chippa hold out here? Well worth their lead, I'll tell you that. They're about to bring on some fresh faces as well. Samaila Mtsundwana. Giovanni Philander is one of those. He's going to come on with an injury concern for Cohen Peters.
They have different options also. Chippa on the bench. Azola Chobeni can come in. Also Mfekane is another one. Then in Tsundwana, like you said, Kolane Sitole can come and influence the offensive play.
Yeah, the youngster you just mentioned, Azola Chobeni, aka Agent P, he seems to have fallen out of a bit of favor a little bit. Getting as many minutes as we saw under the tutelage of Thabo September.
Yeah, it's always frustrating not to have a game time, especially at a young age, and eventually with the new coach coming in, you become a surplus of requirement.
I think Olani Sitole is the other player that's going to join Giovanni and Philander to see out the last 15.5 minutes. Cross is good, but not good enough. They clear the lines. We've seen this movie before, James. They keep loading in the crosses, and Chippa keep batting it away. How long will the damn wall hold, though? Nice run by Mkize, joins the attack and adds numbers, but Fasika Idumba hacks it away yet again.
Reinforced defense, very compact.
All right, coming off as a goal scorer, Boya Madingwana. And Cohen Peters. In is Giovanni Philander and Olani Sitole. The last 15 very crucial minutes, these.
And look at the subs, it's the fullbacks that, in fact, the wingbacks that are being substituted. So you could understand the amount of distance they had to cover. So they need those fresh legs to try and balance the defense.
So Sekhukhune United brought on Samkele Sihlali, a striker to assist Bradley Khroro up top with Olani Sitole and Giovanni Philander. The two changes almost gets through to Khrobla. Plenty of bodies, first touch for Philander, not the most convincing, but does just enough, which is what Chippa United have been able to do. Do just enough tonight. And I'll say it again, the weakest defense against one of the best attacks. How long can Sekhukhune United have a penalty? Never mind all of that, what I just said. It comes to fruition. Pressure on pressure, and it's Sien Ndlovu, the black card. He finds himself in arrears, but I think he's been done a bit of an injustice there. Don't see much wrong with that tackle, James Mayinga.
Injustice indeed.
Look at his reaction. Look him. I think I can repeat what he just said. Sien Ndlovu still perplexed and superplexed by the referee's decision, and so is he.
Even Msibi doesn't believe it.
Let's have a second inspection. Comes through the back of the man. That's not a penalty for me, James. If that's a penalty, that's one of the most softest penalties of the season that I've seen.
Yeah. It's one of those moments that at times it leaves you with a sense of disbelief. And we spoke about this aggression from the Chippa defense to say they need to guard against that. As much as he had won the ball, the way he came, it could have given the referee the benefit of a doubt.
Bradley Grobler potentially to score in 4 games running. There's a lot happening before he takes the penalty. On the night of his 317th appearance in the PSL, he stands face to face with Nigeria's finest. He's one of South Africa's finest ever strikers. And you never doubted him. It's goal number 104 and 317 for Bradley Grobler. Make that 125 in all competitions. You can bet on Grobler, but maybe Sekhukhune United are lucky.
Lucky indeed. And a beautiful penalty taken by Grobler. Look at the composure to send Mwabali the wrong direction to find that equalizer through the penalty spot.
That's his 6th in 7 games for the evergreen hitman. Wow, what is Luki Mal and his staff for the fans of Chippa United gonna make of that decision? I'll tell you who doesn't care. Sekhukhune United and Eric Tinkler.
Hook by crook, as long we have restored the pedigree. It's top and bottom, so you expect such kind of fireworks.
Grobler, by the way, now sits on 6 goals. One ahead Ikram Reynas and Sare Jr., who's on 5 goals after getting his against Sundowns earlier today. Saluleko Mahlambi hot on his trail at 5 as well, having scored in the TXC Galaxy game against Amazulu. Strong work by Figueiredo. Chippa United must strike back and must use what they feel is an injustice to fuel them to hit back immediately. Good looking cross, that testing one. Miguel Tim on hand, but makes almost a mistake. Giovanni Filenda gets a little toe in there. It's all happening. Figueiredo, I think he's put in a man of the match performance. James Mayinga tonight. Justice Figueiredo. Oh, Sergio Camis.
Whoa.
Sergio Camis knew exactly what he was doing.
Tempers flaring.
Udlalisa abanye abantwana kabi uCamis. Mark van Heerden is never one shy of saying the words, and you don't want Paulus Marseille getting on your case. Hey, Camis knew what he was doing there, James. Hacked him down, and right in front of the Sekhukhune United bench knockout.
He was naughty. In fact, instead of playing the ball, that's a tackle from behind. It could also be a red card for that matter. In fact, he's lucky.
Cynical. That's Camis' tackle. On the other side of the pitch, here's Ellis Ramala, or was Ellis Ramala. Ball goes up.
And you know where these tempers are coming from. That initial penalty.
It's going to be an interesting post-match interviews.
Very. There we go.
Look at that.
There we go. There we go.
In his very strong Belgian accent. And chosen words from returning head coach. Yeah, I think Justice Figueiredo, I think, has caught my eye for top performer tonight, James.
In fact, there's so many of them that has also, up until to that extent where Sien Ndlovu was adjudged for that penalty. He was also
right up there.
Right up there, but look, a performance is a performance at the end of the day.
Look, we'll continue to go unbeaten and just have a slender lead, but a lead nonetheless on Sundowns and Chiefs and co. Look where TX Galaxy find themselves in the top 4. Pirates out of the top 4. And the bottom half of the table, it's Siwelele Sama Sokola, Aiba Sokola, James. Chippa from 16th into 15th.
Yeah, they haven't found their feet, but Coach Siema promised yesterday after the loss against Pirates to say on Sunday, it's a definite win. He was happy with how the boys have put up such kind of a performance.
Swelele playing against Marumo Gallants, by the way. Into the last 7.5. TX Galaxy have made it 3-1, by the way, against Amazulu. A red card in that game for Hlangabeza in the 65th minute. Keita scoring Galaxy's third. It's just by Zimbabwean Zindonga. And an own goal by Keegan Allen, just past the 48th minute. There's Langa. They've tried this crossing route quite a few times, but it hasn't come to fruition as yet. First time attempted pass by Giovanni Philander. Can't find Olanis Torn. I think deliberating upstairs. Shannon drove with Justice Figueiredo. Because I tell you what, if you look at that replay of the penalty, it wasn't really a penalty, so he's not culpable if you base it on the facts, on the eye test. But according to what the match report will tell you, Shannon Ndlovu gave away the penalty. And that's what the ref will write and the match commissioner. And what tomorrow's Twitter gurus will be talking about. Flicked on by Ramala. Grobler picks up the second ball. Nice combination play. It's Ramala. Shannon Ndlovu again. It's the black card with a platinum interception. He's been good. He's been really good. Attempted power drive up from the Sekhukhune United player. Yes, Figueiredo just gets ahead of him. Deno Cardoso.
Much better from Figueiredo now, because he's sharing the responsibility with Evanga. Now he's able to rove from different. Remember, in a 4-5-2 formation that Chippa has utilized this evening, it becomes evident that they wanted to open up the game in the second half with the introduction of Evanga. He has been bundling the two centre-backs from Sekhukhune.
Here's Sitole with the set piece. Almost got in there. And they were going to be away there. James Wayne with the two players in green that, had they got the ball there, that would have been an interesting potential development. James thinks this was not offside. Let's have a close investigation.
He's not even playing the ball.
Some interesting decisions tonight from the officials.
Very interesting. Remember, it's not a sin to be in an offside position because you're not interfering with the ball.
It wasn't active, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And there was, remember, that first half call as well. And I think Justice Figueiredo, when they claimed he was offside, and replays later showed he wasn't. I wonder if the respective coaches are going to be having a go at the officials tonight. The quartet of Pilangenkosi Kumalo, Lalelani Mkandi, Sipo Matlangu, and fourth official Romeo Matibiri. Oh, gets up well. But just short a few inches. Bradley Grobler says to him, why did you get in my way?
Yeah.
I was going to score my second.
That miscommunication between Ngube and Grobler.
I think a draw is a true reflection of the game, a fair outcome.
I would love to believe so. With what Chippa has put in the second half, far much better from them. It's only the frustration from Sekhukhune.
Good play here. One touch play by Kamis and Figueiredo. Now with him, Kisa looks for an option. Finds it tiring, Bradley Grobler. That pass was never gonna get there. Shannon Ndlovu though, close to him like chappies to the sole of a foot. No bad.
unwinding those seconds. Look how he brushes him off. He has barely kicked in the second half. He's only throwing in only, and he's always got the distance.
It's scary. His throws are further than some people's kicks.
It's the distance that he always gets whenever he's taking those long throws.
You know what it is, James? It's that Cholof. That Cholof, I should tell you. It is Heritage Day, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's in Ngube against Philander. Tim. Bit of space opening as he grabs his way to the right-hand side. Plenty of red shirts, but they won't part like the Red Sea. Ngube. Not Ngube, but Revan Ndlovu has really been so strong in defense.
Look, even the goalkeeper coach there, Nasnet Mukashi, was saying a snapshot.
Chippa to ebb some few seconds away with the substitution. An introduction of Thabang Molawa. Figueiredo, 88 minutes for Eswatini International. Contributed an assist in his 5th game. Shakes a little bit, but he's had a really strong performance from first half to the second. Replacing him now for the last 2 minutes or so. There's Thabang Molawa. Crucial period now. Last few minutes in this game. It'll be a big point, I'll tell you that, for the bottom 2 side, Chippa United. Away to the lock leaders, the most informed side, almost nigh on perfect. Sekhukhune United in opening 7 games. Ivanga makes a nuisance of himself against Toaster and Sabata. And it's all love, brotherly love in the end.
Yeah, it's all about Cameroon versus Zambia.
Yes, sir. Sabata, fully fledged Zambian international, 37 caps. Yes, Robla. Oh, questions of a pen again. Lightning has struck twice in Polokwane. Ndlovu again. It's the black card in arrears again. Unbelievable. James, what do you say?
My.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. If you're sending Ndlovu, you're thinking to yourself, the ground, please open up and just swallow me. There was a touch, but is it enough to bring a man of that size and that much bulk down to the ground like a pile of rubble?
Experience at his best.
That was experience at his best.
He knew that the challenge might come in and eventually put his leg out, and for Sien to kick him, yes, that's a penalty.
He's about to make it 7 goals in 8 games, Bradley Grobler, if he finishes. And I'll say if very loosely. It's a matter of not now. Oh, he finishes, but balloons it over. That's what I was initially going to say. But we're made to eat humble pie. He is human. Bradley Grobler, Stanley Nwabali, with the biggest moment in Chippa United season. Big 2 hands he got first, and then
he went central.
James.
Yes, those mind games. He went central. He repeated the same fate. But what acrobatics from Stanley Nwabali to make that. It's a match-winning save.
James already had the obituary out for Chippa United. Another game, another loss. courtesy of who else but Bradley Grobler, again in injury time, as it did in the previous game, but it's not to be. Wow, 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 late drama out at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. How did he not finish?
You spoke about the big unit of Stanley Wabale, and it came handy at that point in time.
He guesses the right side.
He should have went the right way, but look at the movement from Stanley Wabale. He moved right first, and when he went central...
Oh, then look at that. He goes straight to him in his face.
Yes.
He says, you don't know who I am, brother.
I
don't know who I am. I show you. Wow, and he's down, by the way, to just eke out a few seconds.
Interesting moments indeed, as Wabale there, laying injured with the magic spray, had to do its best. What a game it has been for Stanley Wabale, making two crucial saves with his ball distribution to 80%. He has been a key figure for the Chippa defense. Very influential. Unfortunately for Brent Grobler, couldn't find that increase as his 5 attempts to 1. But it was this young man, CM Glover, that considered the penalty for the second time. Great work from Mube from the middle as they try to find that much needed goal to get open as they keep on trying against the renowned Chippa defense. Stanley Wabale trying to align his defense. It's more about concentration at this point in time, making sure that they tune in as Mube is about to take the free kick. Floated in the box nicely, unfortunately for Sihlali, who couldn't redirect his header.